Hello, my name is Valentine and you're welcome again to my channel. Now it's exciting times ahead of us. In the next couple of hours, President-elect Donald J. Trump will be sworn in as the 47th President of the United States of America. And a lot of us might be wondering, what does this mean for us as businessmen and women, as workers? What does it mean for me? What does it mean for my finances? What should I expect as the 47th President of the United States of America takes his oath of office in a couple of hours? And so this video right here is just meant to give you some insight based on what I have seen and from what I have seen about his incoming policies, what we should expect as business persons, what we should expect as workers, what we should expect in the economy, and how all of this affects us. How does it affect your finances? This is what this video is all about. So it's about the Trump 2.0 presidency, the second tenure. What should you be expecting in this Trump 2.0 presidency? Now, this video is not going to be long, so we're just going to get right into the meat of the matter. The president-elect campaigned on a couple of issues, and many of these issues we believe he intends to keep good on, and these issues are going to affect you in one way or the other. And so we're going to be talking about some of these issues, not all of them, but some of them, the major ones that really have an impact on how your finances will be impacted. And the very first one we want to talk about is immigration. Now, he campaigned heavily on immigration, and it's going to affect virtually every business out there. The outlook is different. Now, the president-elect has said it's going to crack down on illegal migration. Okay, so we should expect that we're not going to be seeing a lot of foreign workers in the United States. There will be mass deportations from what we understand. Now, what does this actually mean for you if you're a business person? Now, if you're a business person, the implication of this is that you may no longer have access to cheaper labor, because we of course know that hiring migrants is actually cheaper. But if we're going to have mass deportations, it also means there are going to be lesser migrants to hire, and it also means that you may have to spend more to hire Americans to do the job. Okay, so if you're a business person and if you're making use of cheap labor, you may have to start paying more. But look on the brighter side, you're hiring Americans, and that's what the president wants. That's what the country needs, okay, to be able to grow. So that should be expected. You're not going to be having access so much to cheap labor. You're going to be having lesser migrants available for you to hire. Now, the implication is that if you're hiring more expensive workforce, it means the product, the end product or the service may become a little bit more expensive. But not to worry yet. We're going to look at a lot of other indices and compare them and see whether we are actually going to be paying more at the tail end of the day. So even though you're going to be most likely may not apply to everyone, even though you may have to pay more for labor, there are still some other factors that we are going to be looking at, and then we're going to put all of them together to see what we can arrive at. So the second thing we're going to look at is energy. Now, the president-elect campaigned heavily on energy. Okay, you would hear him say oftentimes, drill baby drill, and that means that the United States wants to become even more energy dependent. And what does that mean for you? Okay, so if they're going to be doing more of drilling and we're going to be seeing more of oil production, what that means is that energy costs will actually be driven downwards. Now, if energy cost is driven downwards, what does that mean for your business? It simply means you're going to be paying lesser for utilities, and you're going to have more money in your pocket. The implication also is that inflation will be driven down. Of course, you know that virtually everything is being driven by energy. Okay, virtually every industry and every sector needs energy to thrive. Energy is what drives virtually everything. And so if you can drive the energy cost down, you can also you can also bring down inflation. You can also bring down the cost of goods and services. Okay, so even if you're going to be spending a little bit more, that is if you are hiring migrant workers. For so many others, they have a mix, or they hire Americans. But if you're hiring migrant workers, you have to pay a little bit more, but you should expect that your energy costs would also come down. And so based on that, we expect cheaper goods and services. If the energy comes down, we expect cheaper goods and services. We expect you to have more money in your pocket as a small business. Now, if you're a small business too, maybe one-man business, you hire few workers, or you just a little partnership, of course you will be very much interested in lower energy costs. If you're the kind of person that does a one-man business, you don't really have workers attached to you, of course this would interest you, because it means you'll be paying lesser for utilities. It affects everybody. Okay, it affects everybody, and we expect lower inflation. Based on that, we expect cheaper goods and services to be available. We also expect more income for the United States of America. So definitely, if there's more production of oil from America, we expect better revenues. We expect cheaper access to energy for companies to thrive. Now, the next thing we're going to be looking at is that the president-elect has spoken a lot about DEI and hires. And from everything he has said, we expect that DEI hires will go down. So we're not expecting a lot of focus on same-sex policies or transgender policies. So, and a lot of companies have actually started moving in this direction, because they have seen the direction that the president-elect is going, and they've already started making adjustments to their hiring policies. I'm not going to mention names, but you know them out there. They've already started cutting back and cutting out all those DEI policies. So it's going to be more on companies are going to be hiring basically now based on competence, not based on gender or based on your beliefs, but based on competence. So depending on which side of the divide you're on, if you're the one that believes in transgender and all of that, or you're the one that just feels, oh, let it just go to the most competent hands, depending on which aisle you stand on. But you should know that right now it's going to be more on competence. Most companies, a lot of companies, will be scrapping their DI policies. So you should have that at the back of your mind. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about, he campaigned heavily on the America First policy. It was all about America first, America first, America first. Now, what does that mean? It means that all his policy decisions, even his foreign policies, they're all going to be driven by America first. Okay. Now, a lot of people have argued that this will bring about inflation, because the America is going to be having a harsh relationship with some other countries like China. But in recent times, of course, the president-elect spoke about tariffs for China, Canada, and some other countries, Mexico. But from what we are seeing even recently, of course, you know that the Chinese president was invited to the inauguration of the 47th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. And the Chinese vice president, as we understand, will also be in that meeting. So from all what we are seeing, from early signs, we can't really say that there's going to be that much hostility. In fact, it looks like China and the United States are warming up for a better relationship in Trump 2.0. So I don't see that kind of rivalry, or that kind of yeah, I'll call it rivalry that we saw during the Trump first tenure between America and China. It looks as if a lot of things are coming together. We may not see that kind of harsh relationship this time around. We may see it more of a balanced relationship. So if that happens to be the case, as I suspect will be the case in Trump 2.0, then we may not necessarily see the high tariffs that Donald J. Trump talked about. Of course, even the other countries that we talked about that were threatened with high tariffs, like Canada, we've seen that there have been efforts to cement that relationship and to address the issues actually that led to those threats. So looking at all of that, I really don't think the United States will be having so much friction with so many of its allies or even its non-allies like Russia. Of course, we have seen from early signs also that the United States, under Donald J. Trump's second presidency, may have even a better relationship with Russia. So if we are seeing that the relationship is going to be better with Russia, it's going to be better with a lot with China, then I really don't see how inflation will come in. I really don't. I really think this second presidency may be a lot more peaceful than a lot of people have been anticipating or expecting. So keep your eye on that, and let's see just how it goes. And the next thing we're going to be talking about is the tariff policy. Of course, I just talked about it now when I was talking about America first. So I said that I can see the ice breaking already with China. I can see the ice breaking with Russia. And so it doesn't look like it's going to be so bad as the way people are predicting it. I predict that there's going to be better business relationships. Of course, we have a lot of Chinese companies playing in the American market. We also have American companies playing in the Chinese market and in other markets as well. And so these companies are going to benefit from a good relationship between these countries. And from the way I see it, I think that we're going to have a better relationship during this Trump 2.0 with these countries. And because of that, I do not personally foresee the inflation that a lot of people have been talking about coming to pass. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about is taxes. Okay, I know you're interested in taxes. From his pre-campaign promises, the president-elect talked about no tips, no taxes on tips, sorry. And so I think that would interest people who are collecting tips. That means they're going to be having more money in their pockets. The president-elect also talked about reducing corporate taxes. Now, if you're a businessman or a businesswoman, you own a business or you work in a company, that should interest you, because what that actually means is that the company is going to be taxed lesser. So if you're going to be paying a lesser tax, it means you're going to be having better profits. So for corporate America, I think they're going to be happy with Trump 2.0 because they're going to be paying lesser taxes, they're going to be making more money, and that makes American companies to be more competitive. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to talk about is the DOGE, DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Of course, we expect that as the DOGE comes into play with Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy running it, we expect to see greater efficiency in government expenditures. We're going to be seeing lesser expenses from government. What does that mean for you? That means inflation is likely going to be driven down because we're going to be seeing lesser spending across board. Okay, so now that I've outlined all of this, because I want this video to be very short, what are the takeaways from this video and from all what I've said so far? What should you be expecting? One, I believe that as per your business and how it affects your finances, you should be expecting to have more money in your pocket during Trump 2.0, because there's going to be, in my prediction and from all what I can see and from all what I have said, there is likely going to be lesser inflation. Inflation is going to be driven down. So you should expect, with inflation coming down, you should be able to get goods and services cheaper. You should also be able to have more money to spend with government expenditures coming down. Of course, with taxes also coming down, we should have more monies in our pockets. Companies should expect to make more profit this time around, and we expect also greater competitiveness in the marketplace, greater competitiveness in hiring. Okay, so we expect all of this. We expect an increase in per capita income. So generally, I think Trump 2.0 might favor a lot of people much more than they even thought or imagined. So thank you very much for watching this video. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button so that you can keep getting more content like this. Once again, I want to sincerely thank you for watching this video to the end. Now, if you're looking to discover more strategies for your business, please head over to KDP Amazon and buy my book, Winning Crazy Customers. You'll be more than glad that you did. That book is filled with strategies that could help you build your customer base. Now, also, if you're looking to hire a virtual assistant who can help you with administrative or operational support, you can send me a personal mail at valentineokolo@hotmail.com. If you also need a business analyst to help you with business advisory services, also send me a mail at valentineokolo@hotmail.com. Now, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video.